What's going on, everyone? Hope all of you are doing well. I want to welcome you guys to my predictions for WWE's NXT No Mercy 2023. So there is a total of 7 matches on this card. Now, No Mercy will air later tonight, and I have my laptop here with the matches. So let's get into it. So we have Blair Davenport versus Kalina Jordan. Me personally, I feel like they don't know what to do with Blair Davenport. She was part of the triple threat match that they unified the NXT Women's World title and the NXT Women's UK title, and then she disappeared. There was the storyline going on with her being, I think, the attacker on everybody. It just seems like they don't know what to do with her. Me personally, I would rather see her go to the main roster, put her with Elba Fire and the other woman that's with her, and they could be like this, witch type of, group. I think it would work too. But with this one, I see Blair Davenport picking up the win. Makes more sense. They've been pushing her, but at the same time, they also don't know what to do with her. Next, we have Noam Dar versus Butch, and this is going to be for the NXT Heritage Cup. I see, this is going to be a good match. I've always been a fan of Noam Dar. He's one of my favorite cruiserweights. Just been really killing it. He was part of the 205 Live when that was still around, and then eventually went back to the UK and then became part of the NXT UK when that was around. But I see Butch picking up the win on this one. Noam Dar, yeah, he is the Heritage Cup, champion. He's been doing what he's been doing for a while, but I feel like it's time for somebody else to take this win, and I definitely see Butch picking the win up, especially since he is a main roster star. I feel like they're gonna give that win to the main roster star. So yeah, I see Butch, aka Pete Dunne, picking up the win. Next, we have Carmelo Hayes versus Ilya Dragunov for the NXT Championship. This should be a really good match. Carmelo Hayes has been killing it. He is one of my favorite. He is one of my favorite NXT stars as of right now. And regardless if he's champion or not, he's still going to be one of my favorites. This man says what he does, and he's been killing it. So I definitely would like to see him retain, but I feel like at this point, who else is he going to face off against? I feel like he's already faced off a good majority of the contenders that, are eyeing this title. But I could be wrong, but I'm going to go with Ilya Dragunov. I'm sure I pronounced that wrong, but yeah, I'm going with him to pick up the win, and then eventually this would be Carmelo Hayes' exit from NXT and up to the main roster, hopefully to create the new Hurt Business that's been going around. So we'll see. But I'm going with Ilya Dragunov, wherever how you pronounce his name. Next, we have Braun Breaker versus Baron Corbin. So this should be a pretty decent match. It feels like they, once again, feels like they don't know what to do with Baron Corbin. I don't know if he's heel. I don't know if he's face. It's just kind of weird on what they're doing. It seems like he might be neutral. But yeah, I'm excited for this match. I know it's going to be brutal. But I'm going to go with Baron Corbin. I feel like Von Wagner's going to end up returning and taking out Braun Breaker. But who knows, he could end up taking out both of, competitors. But it should be a pretty great match. So I'm going with Baron Corbin. Next, we have Becky Lynch and Tiffany Stratton for the NXT Women's Championship. And it's going to be under Extreme Rules. Pretty excited about this one. Becky finally was able to complete one of the goals off her list and has become, NXT Women's Champion. and it's gonna be short-lived. It's kind of similar to Finn Balor, winning the NXT championship. So I don't see, this title reign lasting very long. I mean, at this point, she probably will lose it, but nonetheless, she couldn't retaining and actually losing it to somebody else rather than Tiffany Stratton. But if I'm gonna go with anything, I'm going with Tiffany Stratton and her becoming, what is it, a 2-time NXT Women's Champion. So should be a pretty brutal match, but I feel like Tiffany Stratton's gonna find a way to pick up the win. So I'm going with Tiffany. Next, we have Dirty Dominic Mysterio versus Trick Williams, and this is going to be for the NXT North American Championship, and Dragon Lee will serve as the special guest referee. So, this is going to be pretty interesting. It is going to be a pretty interesting match, nonetheless. Now, it was originally supposed to be Mustafa Ali, but due to his recent WWE release, they needed to fill that spot, and Trick Williams is going to be that guy. This is great. I like Trick Williams. I like the fact that they decided to separate him and Carmelo Hayes for the time being, so that way Trick Williams can kind of, branch out and be the star that he is. I do feel like eventually, if Carmelo Hayes does retain, I do feel like Trick Williams will be the guy to eventually go after the NXT Championship. And I also kind of believe that he will be the one to dethrone Carmelo Hayes. I feel like, Shawn Michaels and them are high on Trick Williams, and I think Trick Williams can do it. But this one is going to be hard. We don't know who is going to be at Dom's corner. It could be the returning Rhea Ripley, or it could be, Damian Priest or Finn Balor. It could also be JD McDonough. It's hard to say. But you got Dragon Lee as the guest the guest referee. So in a way, it's gonna be like a 2-on-1 on, Dom. But there also could be issues between Lee and Williams that causes Dom to eventually pick up the win. Dragon Lee gets knocked out, an official comes in. So it's hard to say, but if anything, going with Dirty Dominic Mysterio, it's a given. It seems like they're really going to have the Judgment Day with the titles for a little bit longer. But I'm excited to see what happens and how this match turns out. And then the last match, this is match number 7. Now, these aren't going to go in the order that I'm doing them. I'm sure they'll be a lot different. But we have a Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match for the NXT Tag Team Championships. We have the family, which is Tony D'Angelo and Channing Stacks Lorenzo, who are the current champions. They'll be taking on OTM, and the Creed brothers will also be in this match. And we have Humberto Carrillo and Angel Garza. Now, this should be a really great match. If anybody should win, I feel like it's Carrillo and Garza, because the way they are being built, they're being built to kind of rebuild their tag team group, whatever, they're trying to rebuild themselves. Angel Garza is that ladies' man, and Carrillo was pretty much tired of it, and they were losing, and basically told them, what's more important, the women or, being a team and trying to get the tag team titles. And they've been doing these little video packages of them kind of, soul searching who they are, and they're incorporating their uncle, who, there's a big influence in their career. So I like how they're putting a little personal touch on this, and it's really good. So it's hard because the family, Tony D'Angelo and Channing Lorenzo, tongue twisted here, they just recently won those not too long ago, and they, I guess, have been doing all right with them, but it's hard to say what the plan is with this. But if I'm gonna have to go with anybody, I'm going with the family. I'm gonna go with Tony D'Angelo and Channing Stacks Lorenzo retaining the titles. And I feel like eventually Angel Garza and Carrillo will win those tag team titles. But for the time being, I'm going with the family. Let them retain just a little bit longer and then lose them. But yeah, it should be a pretty decent show. Some pretty great matches. One that I don't care for. The rest of them should be really, really good. So let me know what your thoughts are on the match card for WWE's NXT No Mercy. Who do you guys see winning these matches? Don't forget to give this video a like, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I am Film Talk with Mikey, and until next time, guys, we'll talk films. Peace.